I've watched Martin's submissions on these issues. But it has become very clear, even from this morning, that Martin Kpebu has a personal hatred and jealousy for Akufo Addo and his family. It seems there's some bitterness within you for that family. I don't know what they did to you.
Abusia mama na wase na mema wakwaba. Lawyer Martin Kpebu okokohia Dr. Zaato a political scientist e wo UG. Na nsem bi a Dr. Zaato wakeka ede a kire Lawyer Martin Kpebu no. Me ametie me Zaato ya adwenye pa. Na nsem se uta etie Lawyer Martin Kpebu a ne nsem bi yala obenya political platform na o kire na adwen no. Se wan drag na nado dankwa Akufo Addo a. Asam no onka ewie. Ye nyina ye gitum se na nado na aban no obaye no nima bebre ankoyie enameno sumponti na ema Ken ofori atasisi ye wakodi obi man so onpese obeba gan yi enti ye nyina ye gitum se nima bebre ankoyie but untimi so enfa wonsa ensi obo enka se na nado obaye no wa nya hwe a so eba mfaso ede ma Ghana aban ana se Ghana fo enti se bia according to woro nima bi ankoyie da bia opportunity bia obenya bia no pese wodi papa na tem o kan nsem bia se be enye efa papa no ho ero na Dr. Zaato kokohia na wabobo na dwen ede ama Lawyer Martin Kpebu ba pese wo hwe sa video we na wo hwe Lawyer Martin Kpebu ni di mi na nanim na wode to emna na Dr. Zaato o kasa lawyer yaw domelevro also ababedi nkomo bi ede afa owura na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba ban mu no ode baaye no eho na unim se owura no ono ankasa na wo kan team no o kan sim bi o se owura no minua anhwe yi a they will not get any results because of one or two things yenko na yenko tie Lawyer yaw domelevro nensemu a o kan asi yekoba minua na akọ comment section ho na wa kire wa na me so ma kire ba na bo me bia aye kama unya subscribe ye na wa subscribe like video we so fam ha na akọ yishira e video no mla yekoba e beto aso.
My major concern about the ORA is that it is not going to be successful if we keep or maintain the same legal framework and institutional arrangements for fighting corruption and corruption-related issues. What am I talking about? As we speak today, or as you and me, we are having this discussion, to establish guilt against someone for financial crimes, the person, it must be proven by prosecution beyond reasonable doubt. And financial crimes or corruption and corruption-related issues are not issues that are very easy to establish beyond reasonable doubt. Because the perpetrators of this type of crime are very intelligent and sophisticated persons. And after receiving the proceeds of crime, they are also able to manipulate evidence, even including influencing the investigators and the prosecution, and at times even the judges. So it is not going to be easy. So I think the low-hanging fruit, which are not being plugged, is what my major concerns, my concerns are about. One, if we had changed the legal framework, said that for corruption and corruption-related cases of financial crimes, one does not need to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Once it can be established that Daniel is in possession of resources or assets that do not match his known sources of income, then the onus should shift to Daniel to prove to us how he or she got it, if it's a lady. So if we do that reverse burden or lifestyle audit or unexplained wealth, I am sure that alone can deter people who intend even stealing. And of course, those who have stolen, we can easily get them to refund the money to us and maybe punish them or whatever it is. Another issue I've raised over and over, if you permit me, is the time it takes to try these cases. You will notice that cases go to court and they stay in court for years. We should legislate quickly to say that on this type of crimes, it can take you 6 months or 1 year, so that we know that there will be finality to the hearing. Otherwise, we are going to continue with it till one day there is a change in government, and then the case drops off or they file null prosecutor, etc. If we don't do this, including, of course, I've also been advocating for it, amending the Internal Audit Agency Act, so to make these internal auditors independent so that they can hold spending officers or principal spending officers accountable. And you know, you agree with me, as for the public office, conduct of public office holders bill, has been on the table for how many years? Before I became Auditor General in 2016, it has been there. Nanado promised he was going to give us one which is of international standard or world class. He did nothing. And 1 year gone, I thought that bill should have been passed now to show that we are not going to tolerate any misbehavior in the public sector. So these are my challenges. I think the report that we submitted to Attorney General was not right for prosecution. It requires auditing and investigating to establish the infractions. And that is one of the areas that I thought the presidency or the president can depend, or the Attorney General can depend on Clause 8 of Article 187, which empowers the president that in the national interest, he can request the Auditor General to perform some audits. So if those audits were pushed, or those reports were pushed to the Auditor General for a forensic audit, I think we will have been making a lot of progress by now. I am aware that he is doing that of the cathedral, but the Auditor General has a big team of auditors, more than 3,000. So several groups can come to can be running in parallel, so that we don't do one, then we go to the next one, we don't do two, and then we go to the next three. No, we do this in parallel. Speed is what I've been calling for. Well, maybe it may not be, it may not stand very well or sit very well with Attorney General and his team, but I think time is of essence. Corruption at times does not need to win. All that it requires at times is time. With time, the sentiments, the feelings, everything goes away. And like you said, oral was a big plank that was used during the 2024 election. And we must keep it hot so that the public will not lose confidence over what we are doing so far. Thank you.
Last time I said oral has taught his room.
Yes.
And people think that I wasn't seeing it, but I'm being very honest and specific about that. Mm-hmm. The challenges oral is facing now is because of the quality of the work that was done. It was poor, it was shoddy, and it is not worth it.
The work done by who?
The work that was done by the committee.
The preparatory
committee, yes, they did a very shoddy job. Here is there's a Asafua FM quoting the Attorney General who just left. Oral 20 billion recovery not supported by evidence. 2, there's a Joy News report here saying that oral data included garbage entries collected with a verification, quoting Domilovo. I'm quoting 2 media houses. Now, garbage in, garbage out. It seems if you ask yourself, if you're extreme, powerful, intelligent, smart, investigated, prepared to put together, and you are able to put garbage in the report, garbage will come out, garbage in, garbage out. So, oral is facing poor shoddy work, poor quality work, and that is probably why right now the public is getting frustrated by what oral did, or it's not doing. Because if the quality of work was good, it's not this. Now, the Attorney General has said that there are cases that are being investigated. The question is, which one of them came directly from oral? How many of them can we say, with that oral, this would have been prosecuted? I don't know. They've not given us that breakdown because we said, okay, no. Assuming I've watched Martin's submissions on these issues, but it has become very clear, even from this morning, that Martin Kpebu has a personal hatred and jealousy for Akufo Addo and his family. It seems there's some bitterness within you for that family. I don't know what they did to you or what they will do to you. I don't know whether it's jealousy, it's bitterness, but it's just naked wickedness towards this family. But look, whatever it is, Martin, I would have thought that somebody like you who just tasted a little bit of the coercive powers of the state would be a little bit magnanimous when it comes to this. At every opportunity, you drag the former president's name into this. At every opportunity, you try to bastardize his name. At every opportunity, you try to soil his name. What at all has Akufo Addo done to you?
What do you gain out of it?
And what do you gain out of it? Because you see, it's very important. We are talking about personalizing politics. We are talking about, you are not raising the quality of this argument. No. You are not raising the quality of the public engagement. No. You are not making inputs that people can learn from. No. It is personal to you. Why? You see, you sat here, you said the same thing about Paul Addo. You sat here, you chastised him. When he was arrested, you were giddy, you were laughing, you were smiling. When they picked you, you wanted the whole world to mourn for you. When they arrested you, you wanted the whole world to call Kisajabin to order. It's not nice when you pick up a family. You are being a bully. You are bullying the Akufo Addo family. They've left you because probably they think that you are not relevant. But it's no good when you are picking on somebody. He's a former president. He's raised about that. If not, he also has people who I think that can also come and defend him. So what you are doing is no good. Don't be a bully, Martin Kpebu. Don't be. It's not nice. Don't do that. Okay. My position on accountability, I've stated it, and I always.
If this time we call me, you say Lawyer Martin Kpebu, so I can't simply Eddie Afana Nado Dan Akufo Addo or bedroom home. Yes, Obian can say men criticize no, but say they be a back to back. Emwa ye in political space. Yes, if for any ma ubi and idea, ese efatano, but would ye any opportunity be obinya biano, or pesa wokan, someone sebe emfa and niji, any asumtri ema or my gain. Enti doctors that also watch an agree, you say Lawyer Martin Kpebu is a grown up person enough to think between the lines. Now, say in your manner or so no one editum say, yeah, uncle so now, but say, yeah, your best run, just send a baby. Ebe kama ena owura no nso no lawyer no wakasa wadi nkomo ba ye de be sere ene se omo hwehwe omunuma mu yie se ne be ya nkrofo omodi bone no omo betumi age omo akatuara se omo punishment was yes but obi anso enye hwe ya they shouldn't do say oh because they are in opposition ye pese ye can say be adi go omo fi na omo dragging some of these things emwa oman no it they should do their work very well no omo fa outcome a ebeboa oman Ghana na omumfa embra minia mame na wasana memfa wo AC na ansa na yebekoro mesro minia subscribe na subscribe like video we na share ma wo de bi no so onya bi enhwe nyankopon hyira me de wo ebehiem sisi de makro bye bye.